Welcome to everyone to Sauce Time Gaming. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video once again. And today we're going to be looking at 10 things about Call of Duty Warzone you probably didn't know. Now, right before we get into things, I want to invite you to comment down below if you knew or didn't know any of these 10 facts, and I will make sure to respond to every single comment I find. Without further ado, let's hop on right into number one. So for number one, and probably one no one really noticed because people tend to turn off the music in-game anyway, but if you're actually in the lobby waiting for a friend or for a match to start and you actually start playing a song on your Spotify, on your PlayStation, for example, you'll actually have the in-game music of Call of Duty stop so you can enjoy the song by itself, which I think is a fantastic quality of life feature that really not many people know of. So kudos to the team. As I did notice that within Rocket League, for example, you don't really get that in-game music turned off when you're trying to listen to your songs. Although in Rocket League, you probably are better off enjoying the music of the game. But I digress. Now, for number two, we have a couple of techniques you can use when going up or down a ladder. So right before you reach the top of a ladder, you're actually able to jump, and you'll have to find out for yourself because I did a couple of tests and there were some surfaces you could, some surfaces you couldn't, but you should be able to mantle in those that work and actually get, I guess, a little bit quicker or in a little bit of a higher advantage when you're trying to peek a ladder, or maybe a different angle even when you're peeking a ladder. So it's a little cool feature that I don't think a lot of people know. Likely, when you're trying to go down a ladder, you can actually hold whatever button you use to crouch, and that'll let you slide down the ladder rather than you having to jump off and open your parachute or just climb down manually, which I don't think anyone does. But it's a great technique that has always been present in Warzone, and well, now you know if you didn't. Oh, and if your teammate is below you when you do that on the ladder, you're probably gonna get a couple of good laughs. Now, for number three, we're going to be talking about dual zoom optics. Did you know that you do not get the same recoil control benefits from the lower zoom version of the dual optic? And it's a pretty interesting thing to note. It happens on Vanguard and the Modern Warfare optics because these have sort of these same switch to one or the other type of optic. And it doesn't give you the same pattern. It's not a huge difference, but it's a difference nonetheless, and something you can keep in mind if you didn't know before. Although with the lower zoom optic, even if you're not getting the best recoil pattern, you are getting a little bit of a better visual pattern, if you want to put it that way. So now you know. Now, moving into number four, as we are talking about dual optics, did you know that the KG M40's dual optics don't necessarily all work the way they should? And which, for example, the M38 Slate 2.5x Custom and the M19 4.0x Flip optics do not actually zoom out for the lower version as they properly should. So you're actually going to get a zoomed version regardless of which one you choose, as you're seeing from the clips. The only one that actually works, the 1229 Slate 3.25x Custom. So an interesting thing to note, and a bug that hasn't been fixed for the KG M40. Now, for number five, we're going to be talking about the weapons that can be built for the fastest possible mobility, and these are the CX-9 and the MAC-10. Now, these weapons actually break the stat bar that you have in the gunsmith, as you can see, and they're pretty fun to use in their own right. The only unfortunate part is with the health change. At least in the case of the CX-9, I was able to find it viable in a couple of scenarios if you are aiming for upper chest and the head. However, the MAC-10 feels like it's really just shooting peas, and once you're kind of breaking someone's armor, you've run out of bullets already. So it's kind of an unfortunate situation in both scenarios, but they're pretty fun to use if you do get a couple of clips in. But again, you're going to probably find more roadblocks than benefits from these builds. However, they are the fastest builds you can have in Warzone in 2022. So for number six, we're going to be talking about a couple of different things you can do while mounted, which are probably things you never really thought you could. Like, for example, swap your weapon and still be mounted, plate up while you are mounted, although it removes you from it a while after. You can actually mount the launcher if you already mounted weapon before taking your launcher out. And you can even take out a cluster strike or precision airstrike while you are mounted, so you can have a zero recoil cluster strike. I'm not sure that's how it works, but these are the things you can do while mounted. Now you know. Now, for number seven, we're going to talk about Bloom. Although Bloom was removed after many complaints when Vanguard was integrated to Warzone, Bloom still remains on shotguns that use slug rounds, which you can see here as we're shooting Vanguard and Modern Warfare shotguns. It's a little bit of a small detail to notice, but it is bloom nonetheless, and it still exists in these niche scenarios. Now for number 8, let's go ahead and talk about out of bound timers. Did you know that there is a timer set for a vehicle being outside of the playable area and a timer set for you being on foot in the out of bound area? And this is 5 seconds for most of the vehicles and yourself. But for a plane, I think it's like 40 seconds or a minute. Someone can correct me in the comment section if you know. But this is something that could save your life one day if you're maybe trying to drive around or get out of a situation. You should be able to get 10 seconds if you have a vehicle outside of that playable area. Let me know in the comment section down below if this has already saved your life. And if it hasn't, maybe it'll save it one day. So for number 9, I wanted to talk about the gas. Did you know that the gas will take stronger and faster if you spend too much time in it, or based on certain later circles closing when you're inside the gas? I can't tell you with exact certainty how exactly that works, but the gas will tick quicker, and the actual reason why this was created was, if you do remember back in Verdansk when there were stim glitch abusers and people buying like millions of munition boxes and keeping them within the gas. Because of these people abusing these systems, they actually created this increasing gas tick that actually will eventually kill you way quicker than you can actually stim or self and stim for. So that's a very interesting thing to know, and as a player that really loves gas plays, this is something that I know all too well. Speaking of gas plays, if you are a fan of watching some clutch clips and some funny moments as well, go ahead and follow my TikTok. I upload there rather frequently every week, and I have tons of gas plays that you should be able to enjoy. Now, before we reach number 10, if you have enjoyed today's video or there have been any of these tips or facts that you just didn't know, let me know in the comment section down below. Click the like button down below as well if you are liking it, and let's go ahead and hop on to number 10. And for number 10 today, did you know that you can save yourself from an execution if you stim right before you start getting executed? It's a small window you have to work with, but if you do it at the right time, you should be able to run away unscathed. If you didn't know that, leave a like. If you did know that, leave a comment. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video and for reaching this point if you did. If you are a fan of the bar and you want to get the most up-to-date best recoil build for it, you can click on this video right here. If you still need to fine-tune your settings for Warzone in 2022, then click on the video right here. With nothing else left to say, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and through it all, I hope you always remember, Sauce Time Gaming.